What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host, the smoothest fingers in the gaming industry, bringing you another Cyberpunk 2077 video. Hope you all are having a wonderful, blessed, God-given day. Today, we're talking about, yes, the patch 1.3. Now, I've been playing Cyberpunk with mods for the last few weeks. I'm on my, 5th or 6th playthrough at this point, and I ended up restarting yesterday just to test out what 1.3 really did. So we're going to talk about my opinions on them. We're going to talk about the bad, the good, and then we're going to talk about whether or not, if you haven't played the game, if you should pick it up and play it now, or if you're old to the game and you've been waiting on the game to improve, is this the time to get into the game or get back into the game which you've been waiting on to get better. So again, take this with a grain of salt. I thoroughly enjoy Cyberpunk 2077. I have over 200 hours in this game across PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. I primarily play on PC, as is just, the best place to play at the moment, and probably will always be that way. I know a lot of people would disagree, but hey, that's just my personal preference. I thoroughly enjoy this game. I've enjoyed it since the day it came out. I don't think it's perfect. I think there are flaws. I cover this in my Cyberpunk 2077 review and my Cyberpunk 2077 playlist, which you can check out in the link in the description below. All the gameplay you are seeing is me from last night. You're seeing this on a Thursday. I played it on a Wednesday, the day the patch came out, and I went and played through a lot of this. Now, this is also on an RTX 2060 and an i7, so yes, this looks better than your average Xbox or your average laptop or your average gaming PC rig. I understand that. However, the glitches and the bugs still persist with me. They are not perfect. They are not great. This game still has flaws, and I have always covered them, and I have always talked about them. Now, one of the places I had the most bugs with and I had the most issues with, other than Johnny Silverhand's little, I guess you could say, rocker introduction in the beginning, which you've seen a little bit of gameplay from that, was this car chase that you're seeing right now. I had a lot of issues with that, and I've seen a lot of issues with that over on Reddit. Now, take a lot of things you see on Reddit with a grain of salt. People just love to bitch and complain. They don't want to see the game get better, or you just have absolute fanboys who feel there's nothing great or nothing wrong, with the game. So please, again, I don't feel like I have to say this to people with, a decent understanding of how to play video games, but again, this game is buggy, as every game that launches, especially an RPG like this. So again, take that with a grain of salt. But I had a lot of bugs and a lot of issues in almost all my playthroughs with this car chase. I had no issues, no bugs, and no complaints on this playthrough that you're seeing right here. Another thing that I noticed that was a lot better is the game seems to be a lot more stable. I'm not seeing as much pop-ins. I'm not seeing as much issues, as much glitches. I personally have a very, very high threshold for glitches. I have stated this many times with Cyberpunk 2077 that Skyrim on PlayStation 3 was way, and let me say this again, way worse than Cyberpunk 2077 ever was on any console at any point. I didn't see cars ever going backwards like I seen dragons going backwards, but again, that is a different story for a different time. My understanding and my playthrough of video games may differ from yours. You may have expected this game to run flawlessly. I don't understand why you would expect any game to run flawlessly on release. Every game's going to have bugs on release, no matter how great the game is, especially a single player open world RPG with all the elements going on. Now, what are my opinions? What do I think about the patch? What do I think about the live stream that they did as well? So if you didn't see me live stream over on Twitch and see my initial reactions, essentially what I was thinking when they were doing this whole thing was they could have done this a little bit better. I don't understand the extreme hype for every little patch that's coming out within this game. However, I don't hate it either. I love how they're still updating it. They still care about the game, and I still love their enthusiasm for the game. Again, for them to continue to support this when somebody like EA and BioWare completely left Anthem out to just dry, it's refreshing to see, and it shows me their commitment to making the game better and their understanding that the game can get better, and I love to see it. Another thing that I really appreciate is finally some communication. The communication from CD Projekt Red has been almost non-existent for the last 3 months, and that has really pained me. I made a video talking about how disappointed I was about that. Again, you can check all these things on my YouTube channel. Go ahead and scroll through them, see what's going on. I was really disappointed with that, especially coming from somebody who's been defending them, trying to work with them, being patient with them. I really wanted to see them come out and tell us what's going on. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about within this discussion and within this live stream was there are so many people and so much things going on that I just could never imagine dealing with what they deal with. There was over 26,000 people watching them live stream, and I don't think I've ever seen a more toxic chat in my life. It is ridiculous the amount of people who are so toxic to these developers when they are clearly just trying to do their job and come out here and do what they can do to better the game. Listen guys, like, it is ridiculous the amount of death threats that I've heard these people get and everything as far as Reddit and all this. Like, I don't know what people have their time spent on. I mean, these people are just deadbeats. And to the developers and anybody else who loves the game, hey, brush them people off. If they're not giving us constructive criticism on how to get the game better and continue to be positive about the game, we should not be hearing it. So again, that's crazy, that's intense, but again, that's not what this video is about. And let's move on. So now that that's out of the way, let's talk about my positives and my negatives from the update. Now, I'm not going to read through everything in the patch notes. You guys know I don't do that, and I don't have time to read through a book list of changes that they've made. But oh my goodness, this update is bigger than the last one, and I can do nothing but just applaud them for their hard work on that front. It's amazing to see so many changes, so many different mechanisms, so many different working things that they went to fix. And that's great, right? We want to see those things. We want to see those changes. But have those changes that they outlined really made a difference? And to me, yes. Now, I am still seeing a little bit of instability within the frame rate. I still think some of these things need to be changed. But I think especially right now, this game works 10 times better than I've ever played it. Driving with the car, I've only seen the frame rate drop about one time. And you may see it in this video. But I didn't see as many pop-ins. I didn't see as many issues. I didn't see as many glitches as I've seen before. Yes, the AI also did get touched. People are saying that the AI didn't get touched. Nothing really happened with the AI systems. That definitely did get touched. Now, when you crash or when you're in the middle of the road, drivers will go around you. People react better to when you shoot in the air or when you have a gun out. That is AI changes. I've seen that all over Reddit. People complaining about no AI changes. Yes, that has changed. Now, the police system is still dog shit. And yes, they still haven't gave us what they said about NPCs having a living, breathing routine. But when you have a city as populated as this, it's not like Red Dead Redemption 2 where yes, it's populated, but it's not like Cyberpunk's population where you can control as much NPCs. I just don't think they'll ever be as highly feasible, or will it ever be feasible for that to happen. I just don't think they should have ever even said that. That should have never came out. They should just said that the AI was better than The Witcher 3, which it is. This is a lot better than The Witcher 3's AI, and I don't think people really give them credit for them at least fixing it. Now on release, was it better? Absolutely not. But the game now is a lot better in the AI front than The Witcher 3 really ever was, to be generally and completely honest with you. Now, let's move on to some of my negatives and some of my complaints about this game. We still don't have an option to toggle autosave on and off. It is incredibly frustrating to be driving around or be in an action sequence and feel like, oh my goodness, the game is stuttering, when really it's just the autosave feature of the game. It is incredibly annoying how minor a situation and minor a detail that they still have not ironed out yet. Please fix this autosave feature. Now, I can fix it by going into the settings and removing the autosave feature, but for those of you on PlayStation and Xbox, I know that that is giving you nothing but a headache, and I feel for you, and I understand, and I don't understand why they have not changed this one simple thing yet. Next thing up, they talked about the minimap and how the minimap is zoomed out. Yes, they fixed the minimap, but oh my goodness, the amount of detail that they had to give us on why they couldn't fix the minimap. It's like, guys, I don't give a damn about why you can't fix the minimap. This is 2021, and I understand you can say streaming and all of this and all these issues. I get it, I understand that, but guys, save me the detail and the honesty of that workaround and just get it done. These aren't things that I should have to be focusing on as a player. They should be native and intuitive, and it should have happened on release date. There is no excuse for the minimap being as garbage as it was on release. Nothing short of not an excuse. End of that debate. I'm done trying to hear about the minimap. Glad you fixed it, but let's move the fuck on from this damn minimap. We have spent way too much time on a damn minimap. Feels like I'm dealing with Modern Warfare and the no pings on the radar minimap all over again. I can't damn stand it. Next thing that I'm a little bit frustrated about that they have not fixed yet, or that they have not included, is there's so much cut content. And I understand they added DLCs, which I understand and want to say the DLCs are a great addition to the game. One, they're free. Let me say that again. They're free. Number two, they added another car, and I love to see it. And the car looks really, really nice. I don't know why people were upset about them adding a new car. And it also gives us the possibility of, since there's customization with that car and they changed some things, maybe they're working on car customizations. But what they haven't done in this game yet again is they have not added some of the cut content back, and that's something a lot of people have voiced their concerns about. I'm voicing my concern about. We want to see some of these things, but they did allude to the expansions. They did allude to what they're going to be doing in the future, which is great. But how about we talk about some of the cut content that you have noticed and you have seen and say, hey guys, we're going to be working on trying to get some of that stuff back in the game, and we're working on putting that back into it. They didn't talk about anything related to the cut content, and that is a huge letdown for that. They also didn't talk about anything referred to as putting customizable characters or customizing our character within the game, which is a basic fucking feature of an RPG into the game. We didn't hear nothing about that. So again, there are some disappointing things, but honestly, in all seriousness, the positives outweigh the negatives with this update. I'm happy to go back and play through it again. I hope you guys are actually excited about doing that after seeing this video. I highly recommend you to go check this out and play this again, and give me some honest reviews about the PlayStation and Xbox series so I can make another video talking about if this is definitely running better on that. From everything I've heard, it is running better. It's running at a solid 30 FPS on the PlayStation 4. We're still waiting for that next gen update to give the PlayStation 5 and the Series X that 120 or maybe 60 hertz ray tracing on those consoles and on those ports. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Definitely give this game a check out, see what's going on with it. Bless up. As always, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one.